Hal Lainson, Hastings, Dutton-Lainson Company, deceased. Nebraska native Harry Hal Lainson Jr. helped develop one of the country's leading manufacturing companies, a firm that played a prominent production role during World War II. Starting out delivering invoices via bicycle for his father, Lainson spent more than 70 years with Dutton-Lainson Company. A pioneer leader of the state chamber, Hal served on the board longer than anyone and saw the organization through 4 name changes: the Nebraska Association of Manufacturers, Associated Industries of Nebraska, the Nebraska Association of Commerce and Industry, and the Nebraska Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Recently, we asked his wife Gretchen and daughters Margaret and Mary to share some thoughts about Hal and his life.
He had a way of bringing everybody together on discussions and reasonable procedure in that way. I think he had a natural leadership that was a great blessing in all the things that he undertook. Communication was one of his great talents, and he constantly sent out notes with brief directions or a brief explanation of what was expected or coming in the company, so people felt part of it and were informed. That made a great difference, I think, to everyone.
Because he was very effective and very interested in the community, in the state, loved Nebraska, was very concerned about what went on and involved, and also on the national level.
Hal thoroughly believed in working closely with his employees and peers, building relationships and maintaining them, all learned at an early age.
As a young man, delivering invoices for his father for the company. So, he had a good understanding of what went on.
And I think it was such a nice thing for him because he took the invoices to the president of the company or the superintendent of the company or something and handed it to him. Mr. Lainson wanted his son to do that, and all of those things teach you something as a youngster.
Hal believed strongly in education, serving on the Hastings College Board of Trustees and other areas of higher education.
He was interested in education. He was not ever on the school board because we sold things to the public schools, and he felt that was not an honest relationship. He never did serve there. But with the college and with some of the boards, he served on committees for the state. He was much interested in all the development of education.
Another trait of Hal was his view of life and his expectations.
There was nothing gray. It was black or white. There was nothing. And we knew that, and at the time maybe it seemed kind of hard to these standards, but in retrospect it's been wonderful.
Hal never looked for recognition or praise. He steadfastly refused to be inducted into the Business Hall of Fame, though by rights he should have been an original member. But he lived a memorable life and affected so many.
I think that the things that Hal did in his life are things that have permanent value. They either are in buildings or they're in people. And his the thrust of his energies and his beliefs about how things should be are still going on, not just in his family, and his employees and the men and women who worked with him. And I'm very proud of the man he was and all he did. So.
I think we get 50.
On behalf of our family, most of us are here this evening, and on behalf of the Dutton-Lainson Company, I am just thrilled to have this ceremony in which Hal is inducted into the Nebraska Business Hall of Fame. This is your 100th anniversary, which began in 1912. He was born in 1912. That seems significant too tonight. He was involved. He was involved in the late 40s and 50s and 60s in this organization, but all his life he was passionately devoted to the idea of what business had to bring to government and to life in their communities, and he was still talking about it at 98. I do thank you so much. I wish this organization another 100 years as wonderful as these have been. Thank you.